At some point, the numbers stopped sounding real. 30,000 people watching live. Bets so large they blur past comprehension. A counter on screen climbing into the tens of millions. Losses so extreme they stop feeling like money and start feeling like mythology. And at the center of it all sits one man staring into a slot machine, telling his audience the same thing over and over again.
Release what I got paid since the beginning of my contract. I've been paid $360 million for 16 months of gambling. There you go.
Trainwrecks TV didn't appear out of nowhere. Long before the gambling, long before the controversies that would eventually force Twitch to rewrite its rules, he was just another streamer chasing relevance in a crowded space. Back in 2015, Tyler Nicknam was fresh out of college, streaming World of Warcraft to a few hundred viewers under a name that sounded more like a warning than a brand. Progress was slow, but it was steady. As Twitch evolved, so did he. Jumping from game to game, riding waves like Fortnite and PUBG as they rose, slowly building an audience that didn't just watch him play, but listened to him talk. That's where things changed. When Twitch introduced IRL and just chatting, streaming stopped being about skill and started being about personality. And Train's personality was impossible to ignore. He wasn't trying to be polished, he was trying to be honest, even when that honesty was messy, abrasive, or uncomfortable.
Oh, you need me to help you? Oh, I need to crab walk you. Okay, give me a second here. 1 second.
For a certain kind of viewer, young, online, alienated, that authenticity hit hard. He didn't talk at his audience, he talked with them, or sometimes for them. His streams began to feel less like broadcasts and more like rallies. Train positioned himself as an outsider who made it in anyway. Someone who understood rejection, bitterness, and resentment, and wasn't afraid to say the parts out loud that others softened or avoided.
We are a team. We are a family. If you're depressed, I'm depressed.
That approach earned him loyalty, but it also planted the seeds for nearly every controversy that followed. Because when your brand is raw emotion, there's no clean line between being relatable and being reckless. By 2017, his audience had exploded into the thousands, and with that growth came scrutiny. Clips spread faster, rants traveled further, and statements that once lived only inside a stream now lived forever on timelines and forums. Some of his takes, especially about women on Twitch, were framed by supporters as jokes or commentary on platform hypocrisy. Others saw them as something darker. What is confirmed is that these moments brought him repeated suspensions and made him one of the most polarizing figures on the site.
That's the majority, okay? So stop bitching. Focus on you. Don't focus on other people, all right? Leave the women alone. Let them stream. Come on, man. It's annoying as fuck.
But here's the thing that often gets missed. None of that slowed him down. If anything, conflict became fuel. Every ban reinforced the idea that he was being targeted. Every backlash fed the narrative that the system was stacked against him. And the more that story hardened, the more his community rallied around him.
No more. Say no more to these goddamn using women. I am the leader. From now on, we will not give you money. From now on, we will not sub to you. From now on, we will do nothing unless you prove to us it is not an act.
Train wasn't just a streamer anymore. He was a symbol. To fans, he was proof that you could be flawed, angry, and still win. That foundation matters because years later, when millions of dollars start disappearing on screen, when viewers begin questioning whether the losses are real or part of the show, it's this history that makes the story believable.
Oh my God! Hold on. Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh, what is that?
By the time Trainwrecks TV reached Twitch's inner circle, controversy was no longer a side effect of his career. It was baked into it. The bans kept coming, the arguments got louder, and each time, Train insisted on the same point. He wasn't pretending. What people saw on stream was who he actually was. That insistence mattered because authenticity had become his currency. Even when he crossed lines, even when the platform pushed back, his audience believed one thing above all else, that he was real. And Twitch rewarded that. In 2018, Train launched the Scuffed podcast, a chaotic, unfiltered roundtable that felt like nothing else on the platform. 10 streamers at once, no script, no polish, just raw conversations, arguments, and moments that regularly spiraled out of control.
Is he was in a situation, like he was at a point in his life where he saw somebody of a certain category, of a certain type, do something really bad, right? Allegedly, whatever happened.
While other creators were building brands, Train was building a stage and inviting everyone onto it. The podcast cemented his influence. He wasn't just reacting to Twitch culture anymore, he was shaping it. Big names rotated through. Debates broke out that would echo across the platform for weeks, and despite all the criticism surrounding him, Train maintained relationships with some of the largest streamers on the site. Whatever people thought of him, they couldn't ignore him. Then 2020 happened. Twitch exploded during lockdowns, and Train found himself perfectly positioned. He became one of the most watched streamers during the US election cycle, then rode the Among Us wave harder than almost anyone else. He wasn't just good at the game, he was dominant, winning tournaments, pulling massive viewership, and proving something important. His success wasn't tied to one genre. When Among Us faded, Train didn't. Instead of declining like many streamers before him, he pivoted again. And this time, the move would define his legacy. Gambling had always been there in the background, CSGO cases, occasional slots, but in 2021, it became the main event. Crypto casinos were flooding Twitch with money, and Train leaned all the way in.
Oh fuck, you have a
Fuck, hold on.
Wait, your Born Wild setup is crazy.
Hold on!
Oh, is that a max?
Yeah!
Is that a max? Born Wild? Holy shit! Holy shit, it is max!
Unlike other streamers, he didn't treat gambling as a side activity. He made it the entire show. Hours-long streams, $1,000 spins, $1 million swings, bets so large they stopped being entertaining and started being unsettling. And unlike others, Train insisted he wasn't playing with fake money. He claimed it was all raw balance, his own funds, his own risk. That claim is real. The implications are where things get complicated. Because if it was real money, then what viewers were watching wasn't content. It was addiction playing out live. Train streamed for 20, sometimes 40 hours straight. He moved countries to comply with sponsorship laws. He admitted to gambling off-stream to chase losses. And on-screen, a counter quietly tracked how far he was from breaking even, climbing into figures so massive they barely registered as possible. At one point, that number reached the equivalent of $35 million down. Train didn't hide it. In fact, he emphasized it. He told viewers gambling would ruin their lives. He warned them constantly. Yet at the same time, he accepted sponsorships worth tens of millions, gave out referral codes, and streamed losses that somehow made the entire thing even more captivating.
Do not get it twisted. Do not gamble. Do not start. Gambling is entertainment and entertainment only. You won't break even. You won't win. You won't do any of that. Do you understand? You will only go into debt and ruin your fucking life. I do this because I fucking love it. I do it all the time. It's entertainment for people who can afford it. And that's it. You will lose. I'm losing. Do you understand? I am down millions.
This contradiction, the warning wrapped inside the spectacle, is where everything begins to fracture. Because once the losses hit this scale, a new question emerged, one that refuses to go away. Is this a man destroying himself in real time? Or is this the most convincing performance Twitch has ever seen? At first, the audience took the losses at face value. Trainwreck's TV didn't celebrate gambling the way others did. There were no highlight reels of only wins, no glossy edits designed to make slots look like easy money. What viewers saw instead was exhaustion, long silences, outbursts of frustration. A man staring at his screen, trying to convince himself and everyone watching that this was still under control.